AI has gotten so ridiculously good at generating videos that you don't need a camera. You don't even need to ask people to help you film. Maybe you can help? Can you help me film? No? Anyone? I have some money. Maybe you can help?
No, bro.
Which is great, because I literally have... Can you help film? No one. And this works so good, I can prove it. Because if you've been following this channel, you've already been watching AI-generated footage and you didn't even notice it. So I thought, let me push this further. So today I'm going to show you 3 methods to turn your boring static footage into cinematic B-roll using AI. Plus a bonus method where you don't even need a camera at all. I'm also giving away 10 Higgsfield Max subscriptions if you can spot the secret keywords I've hidden throughout the video. First, we're gonna take a screenshot of a boring static shot. And you do this in your editing software. In my case, I have this video where I'm in my natural habitat, looking like the founding father of the looksmaxing community. And in Premiere, there is a screenshot feature to take a single frame out of this. Now let's head over to Higgsfield AI. Link is in the description. And when you get there, go straight into Cinema Studio. I've tried all the other ones as well, but you don't have to. Don't waste your credits. Or do if you want to sponsor Higgsfield. Anyway, let's click on Cinema Studio and go to video at the bottom. Keep it on single shot, 16:9 and 1080p. Now go down to the director panel, click video and then upload your screenshot. But this is something important. Higgsfield is smart, but it's not that smart. So it has no idea who this person is, what they're doing, and why this Giga Chat is standing here waiting over to be discovered by Vogue magazine. So we need to give it some context. So let's describe the scene. Guy standing stationary, looking at his phone. Then describe the camera movement, camera moving from right to left, and scene doesn't change. Keep the speed ramp on linear. This is so you can edit it in cleanly later. Duration, let's set it to around 5 seconds and no audio needed. And then what I like to do is run 2 batches so you have options to choose from. Let's hit generate and let Higgsfield do the magic. Now this takes a while, but you could use this moment to watch a loading bar while you ask yourself things as, how will AI replace me? How does Tom looksmax? Or you can go back to Premiere and line up the next shot, which is exactly what I'll show you next. For the second technique, we're going to fix something that isn't exactly in our control. Dutch weather. Because as you can see, it's giving full gray, depressing, and why do I live here vibes. So we want to make it a bit more warm and sunsetty. I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds a lot like the brother of Jay Shetty. So same as before, grab a screenshot, but this time before we bring it to life, we're going to change the image itself first. So let's go to image. I'm going to use Nano Banana Pro and drop this prompt. Late afternoon sun, cutting in low from the left, casting long dramatic shadows across the ground. Warm light kissing the left side of the face, while the right falls into a cool shade. Sky fading from burnt orange at the horizon up to the soft rose, rich golden color grade, cinematic bokeh, hint of lens flare. I know that's a lot of words, and yes, it's already written out for you in the description. You're welcome. Now we've got our relighted image and I want to bring it to life. So I'm gonna head back into Cinema Studio, same settings as before, and let it do its thing. I think it's quite cool, but maybe you want some more control over the actual shot. And that's where method 3 comes in. For the third method, we're going back to actually shooting our shot. What you need is simple. 2 angles of the same scene. So here's what I do. I film myself on a tripod, then move the camera to a second angle and film again, and that's it. You have 2 shots. Then I import them both into Premiere, and yes, this can also work in DaVinci, CapCut or Canva. Now this is where the magic happens, because I want to transition between these 2 shots, but not with a boring cut. So I need a starting frame and an end frame. And the key thing here is overlap. So I give 5 frames before the end of the first shot, and then I'm gonna grab a screenshot, and then 5 frames into the start of the second shot, I'm gonna grab another one. So now we have 2 screenshots, and let's take them to Higgsfield. Back in our trusty old Cinema Studio, and this time it's a bit different because instead of just uploading 1 image, I'm gonna give it a start and end frame, and I'm gonna upload both using the same prompt as before, and then hit generate. Now while that's running, this is just a warning. Sometimes Higgsfield plays hard to get and the video doesn't pop up right away. If this happens, I always just hit refresh a lot of times and it will show up. I don't know if this actually works, but I feel more in control. Cool, so all 3 videos are done and look how cool this looks. Now let's bring it all together. So the first one, I can just drop this in and then it's done. The second one, it's the same thing. So really easy. The third one is where it gets a little tricky. So I want to blend this seamlessly with the actual footage. So I'm going to use a morph cut effect. This basically tricks the viewer that nothing has happened. Of course, you can also use a cross dissolve, but I think this is a little trick that not a lot of people use. And as you can see, you now don't even notice the transition. Now it's time for the bonus method. And this is the one for anyone that thought, Tom, this is great, but I don't have any footage for myself. I don't even own a camera. Well, here's what you can do. First, I generate the scene I want, and I'm going to use a photo of my setup. Or honestly, you can also just grab a nice setup shot from Pinterest. Doesn't really need to be yours. And now we're going to use Soul Character. And Soul Character is special because it lets you create your own character that actually looks like you consistently. To set it up, you do need to upload 20 images of yourself. They look like this. I just took a few selfies, as you can see. And once you've generated your own Soul character, you can use Soul to generate the image. And as you can see, I already have an image of me in this scene and it already looks dope. And this is a scene you never filmed, looking like you absolutely meant to be there. Now we can push it even further. We can take that image into Cinema Studio and use the same process as before. So we turn the image into a video. Now let's go back into Premiere. So we can create a new sequence, make it vertical, and then I can insert this video. And let's just go to the text tool. I'm gonna add a quick title to this with a nice font. Let's add a bit of a blur to this. And now we can put a song in it and you've got a reel. Like no camera, no crew, no cringy retakes, no cringy. Now you might think, Tom, everything you've shown so far is super easy and I'm actually really good at After Effects. Why don't you show me some advanced stuff? First of all, why are you flexing like that? Second, let me show you. So I'm here in After Effects and I have our shot. Let's drag that in. Let me scale that up first. So right click, transform, fit to comp. Now let's get that other shot in. And as you can see, the colors don't match. You might even have this in Premiere and I don't see anyone saying something about this, but this is because the color workspace don't match. And to make it match, let's right click on our Higgsfield footage, interpret footage, main. Let's go to the color tab. And by the way, in Premiere, it's exactly the same thing. Override the color space with sRGB. Press OK. And now you notice that they're actually exactly the same. And there's one big problem with a lot of transitions, and that is timing. As you can see, it stops really abrupt. Now again, with the methods that I showed you before, cross dissolve and a morph cut, you can fix a lot of shots, but with some you can still see that harsh transition. And that's why we're in After Effects, because we're gonna fix that. And to do so, I'm gonna right click on our Higgsfield footage. I'm gonna go to time, enable time remapping. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this last keyframe. I'm gonna right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease. I'm gonna go into the graph editor and I'm gonna slow it down by a bit. And of course, we also want the start to be east. So let's do that too. Something like this. And basically this will slow the image down into the other one. Now it will get a bit almost laggy. And to fix that, you can just right click, go to frame blending and change it to frame mix or pixel motion. Now what we can even do is when the clip goes a bit more quick, we can add some motion blur to this. Just like in real life, when I wave, you can see the motion blur and you can also see that I'm waving goodbye to my job because AI is replacing it. And to do so, I'm gonna go to the effects and presets panel. I'm gonna add a CC Force motion blur to this. And once we add that, it will add some motion blur automatically in some fast movement. As you can see, when I put this now to full quality, it will look a bit nicer. You can also increase the samples. That will basically increase the quality, but also will make your computer slow. Now, as you can see, it's way more smooth. It works really well with this shot. We can still see the difference between the shots, and to change that, we can add a quick fade in just by pressing T on our keyboard, setting a keyframe and fading that second shot in. But also what we can do is add some grain to this first footage, because as you can see, it's way too smooth. It's because it's generated with AI. AI doesn't really want to add noise to it, so we need to add some noise to match the footage. And for that, you can just add noise. You can also use the grain effect, or you can download some grain and just slap it over it. For now, I'm going to use the add grain effect, and let's add that to our footage. Here you can see a preview window, what that will look like. This is way too much. What I noticed is that Eastman color negative is not that harsh, but then even then I want to change the intensity to maybe 0.5. Change the viewing mode to final output. This will put it to the whole image. Now there will still be a color difference but it will be so minimal you won't even see it. Now we also have this other shot that I generated before. Let's drag this in. And this is the shot of me standing in the sun instead of the horrible Dutch gray weather. Let's right click, transform, fit to comp again. And what you might have noticed is that does look like me, but it's a bit off. I think people that know me well won't notice that it's not really me. So I think in a quick shot, you can get away with it. You can just use this. However, we want a face replace. So let's get our original shot in. There we go. Let's align this a bit better. And first thing I want to do is I want to cut out my face. Now, I know that in the new After Effects, there's also a better feature for this, but I think most people have the rotor brush tool. So I'm just going to use that. Then I just double click on the video and then let's just draw on my face. Beautiful. I also don't want the umbrella. So let's hold Alt, draw this in just like that. Sound effects are needed too. I'm going to hit freeze. And once it's frozen, we can hit close. And as you can see, we have the head. Now, of course, I have to align it a bit. And what you also notice is that the colors don't match. So what I'll do, I'm just going to go to the selection tool. I'm going to just move it to the right. So I have this floating head, which actually looks quite funny. And now I want to match the colors. And to do so, we can just hold Alt and then hit 1. Then we just have the red colors. And as you can see, they don't match at all. So we have to go to our video and then we can add a lumetri color to this. And I can go to the curves and I can set this to red. And then, for example, I can adjust the red value. And what we're trying to do here is trying to match that with our image. So in terms of contrast, I think this one is quite contrasty. I'm gonna take out the contrast a bit and they're quite similar now. And what I'm gonna do now is hit Alt 2. We're gonna go to green. They're matching quite a lot, so I can now go to green, maybe adjust it a bit, not too much. I think this one is quite good. Let's hit Alt 3 to go to blue. Let's go to blue. And as you can see, this, I mean, this looks really spooky, but you might also be able to see that there's not that much blue in our AI image. Drag the blue down. Now hit Alt 3 again. And as you can see, we've matched our image perfectly. The colors are exactly the same. And now I can put it over it. Now it looks a bit weird. Almost looks like I have a hatchet in my head. That is because I chose the wrong timing. But to overlay it now, what we can do, we can just press S for scale it up a bit. We can even go into the rotor brush, add a bit of feather. So it's now set to 5. You can set that to 10 or maybe even 20. That will make it a bit more soft. And if you now zoom out, you can see it matches the image perfectly and it's blended really well. And what I like about this is integrating AI in your workflow as a tool. Because hear me out, I don't want to use a one prompt and call it a day. I want that creative process and I want to use it as a tool. And that's also the beauty of this method, is that we can use it to replace some footage. It will be the same as just downloading some stock footage, but now we have way more control over it. And yes, we still have to edit it. And yes, we can add our creative touch to it. Actually do so, because otherwise it will be AI slop. And that's not what we want, because there's enough AI slop already. There will be so much AI slop that we'll be done with it. And I want to motivate you to be creative. So I'm gonna give away 10 Higgsfield Max subscription to the people that spotted the code in this video. If you haven't spotted the code, watch the video back, check it out and see if you find it. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.